All right, so we are live. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Jesse Meckling, the Director of Education at the Center for Coastal Studies in Provincetown, Massachusetts, and this is Cool Marine Animals That I Have Seen, Friday's edition. Here on the Cape, it's another wonderful spring day, rainy, temperatures about 70 degrees Celsius in the 40s Fahrenheit. So just like last Friday, when we talked about the orcas, the top predator in the ocean, very cool animals, I thought I would end this week with another very impressive and often misunderstood animal. One that after many years of hoping to see, I finally saw for the first time in 2017, and is a pretty common visitor here on Cape Cod, especially in the summer and the fall. And of course, I am talking about great white sharks, or simply great whites. So let me start the presentation. So great whites, like many of you out there, great whites probably evoke memories of the movies Jaws. I remember as a 13-year-old visiting the town in Martha's Vineyard where it was filmed, and of course my images of sharks were shaped, I'm sure, as a lot of ours were by Jaws, and certainly when we went swimming we probably heard that music in our head. Great whites are the largest predatory fish. They're warm-blooded. They can actually swim in cold waters. They're also known as the white pointer. They're listed as vulnerable. And great whites started to make a return to the waters around Cape Cod in about 2009. And despite my looking for many years on the beaches and doing more than 100 walks to seal haulouts and constantly being asked, have you ever seen great whites? It wasn't until 2017 that I first saw my first great white, and then I saw four more in 2018 from a plane over the beaches just off of Truro and Provincetown. Great recommendation if anyone comes to the Cape and wants to see a great white. A biplane ride out of Provincetown or Chatham in late summer is a great opportunity. Can't say that you'll see it 100%, but we saw about 4 and 5 minutes, so it was pretty cool. While this animal is really cool, it's the only animal that during this series of cool marine animals that I've seen that I don't have a picture of. So all the pictures today are from Wikipedia. I don't have a picture of great white, unfortunately, but hopefully one day I'll get one, and one day I'll be able to swim with them and get some cool pictures. So great whites are range throughout the world's oceans, as you can see here. They live in mostly coastal and offshore waters that range in water temperature between 12 and 24 degrees Celsius, or 54 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit. An interesting fact is that great whites can regulate their body temperature. They have a web-like structure of veins and arteries that help keep certain parts of their body, particularly their stomach, temperatures up to 14 degrees Celsius higher than surrounding water temperatures. So this allows them to swim into colder waters, keeping their core warm. As you can see, let me go back, because great whites these sharks are known to migrate large distances. Some tag sharks from South Africa were followed all the way to the northwest coast of Australia and back, which is a distance of 20,000 kilometers or 12,000 miles in 9 months. And they regularly migrate from the coast of Baja, California to an area sort of off the coast of Hawaii known as the White Shark Cafe. Great whites rely on fat and oils in their livers to help them make these long migrations. And they also have a very unique and efficient way of swimming. When they start, they'll swim with their pectoral fins, their side fins sort of shifted downwards in a downward orientation, and they'll glide down with really minimal effort. And then, when they reach a certain depth, they'll orientate the fins upward and kick up with their fins, and this allows them to use 50% less energy when making these large migrations. So these animals are large. As I said, they're the largest predatory shark in the world. They're not the largest shark in the world. There have been reports of them growing up to 6.1 meters or 20 feet and weighing between 1,900 and 2,300 kilos, or 4,200 and 5,000 pounds. So these are big, robust animals, as you can see here from this picture. The average size, however, is smaller. Males average about 3.4 to 4 meters. That's 11 to 13 feet. And females about 4.6 to 4.9 meters, 15 to 16 feet. So females are larger. There are reports in the 1800s of great whites measuring up to 10 meters or 36 feet, but scientists today don't believe that the measurements were obtained in a very scientific, valid way, and these numbers are thought to be a bit high. So generally, these animals measure in the 4 to close to 5 meter range. They are large animals. One of the cool things about them as well is they're rather than scales, they have on their skin these denticles, which are, if you imagine shingles on a roof all put together, so these denticles are crammed together, and they're highly aerodynamic. Researchers at Harvard found that great whites, because of these denticles, will reduce their drag up to 10% of an animal that didn't have them. So they're quite efficient, amazing swimmers. White sharks are territorial, based on size and sex. So females will dominate areas over males, and larger sharks will dominate over smaller sharks. Great whites have 300 serrated triangular teeth that are arranged in several rows, and when they lose those teeth, one from another row behind it will come up and replace it. Though a lot of people think great whites only hunt, or maybe only hunt seals or sea lions or other species, pinniped or whales, it's not until great whites get to a certain size that they will actually begin feeding on marine mammals. Until a great white reaches 3 meters or 9.8 feet, their jaws aren't strong enough to withstand the bite force that it takes to attack a marine mammal. And these smaller sharks, although a 9-foot, 3-meter shark is still a large fish, these smaller great whites will primarily, they're opportunistic feeders. They'll feed on other fish, tunas, squid, other sharks, perhaps other great whites, rays. So they're out there sort of just feeding randomly on whatever they may find. Once sharks get to be reach that 3-meter length, their jaws are strong enough and they may begin feeding on marine mammals. But it's not really until they reach 4 meters or 13 feet in length where they'll actually predominantly feed on marine mammals like pinnipeds, seals, and sea lions, and dolphins. Of course, they'll also take other species at the time, fish as well. And whale carcasses, believe it or not, are a really important part of great white shark diets. They can sustain pounds of blubber, kilos of blubber from whale carcasses floating out in the ocean can sustain great whites for a long period of time, maybe even up to a month and a half. There's a really cool video that came out, I think I saw it on Shark Week last year, about these very, very large great whites that were feeding off the carcass, I believe a sperm whale carcass in Hawaii, and these divers that got in the water with them, with these just massive, massive sharks that were up to 6 meters or over 6 meters. Really amazing footage. Check it out. A lot of the shark's brain, the great white brain, is dedicated to the sense of smell. They possess the largest olfactory bulb, or the receptor for smell of any shark, and they use this for detecting prey. And much of their world is really enshrouded in the world of scent. So the sense of marine mammals in the water a lot of times what attracts these animals to certain areas. It was once thought that great whites mature around 15 years of age, but recent research has pushed that number back to nearly 30 years for females. Thought that males mature around age 25, and it's also changed in thinking of their lifespan. It was previously thought that they lived to be only about 30, but now researchers believe they can live to be 70 years or more. So they're long-lived, but they're also mature late, which means it makes them very vulnerable to to young sharks being caught. They give birth. They are oviviviparous, which means they hatch young from an egg inside the mother until it fully develops, and they give birth to 2 to 12 pups. Live birth to 2 to 12 pups, although the greatest number was 14 pups born. Mature great whites really only have one predator, and that's the cool animal we talked about last week, the orca. Orcas are known to hunt great whites, and as we discussed, they like the fatty, oil-rich liver of the sharks. Great whites are protected. They were fished for many decades. They're now protected in many parts of the world, including parts of the U.S. And estimates of their population are only about 3,500 worldwide, which makes them vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, of course. New research is coming out that might change those numbers. A study came out recently of great whites in California that put the number at 2,400, which was 10 times higher than the previous estimate. So there might be more of these out there, and their population is believing to be increasing somewhat due to protection. Here on the Cape, researchers have identified over 300 individuals, making this one of a new hotspot for great whites. There's still threats to great whites because they are still caught in gill nets, particularly as bycatch, particularly young great whites. And they're also susceptible to toxic pollution, particularly because they are higher on the food chain. Young great whites off the coast of California have been found with the second highest mercury level on record for any sharks, and higher levels of PCBs and DDTs in their liver than any other sharks worldwide. So that's about it. I'm out of time for great whites today. They're super cool animals. I just want to end with one fact about great whites and shark attacks. We here on the Cape had sadly we had a couple shark bites within the past few years, and one that was fatal to a young boogie boarder. And great whites are known to have are known for more unprovoked shark attacks worldwide than any other species. However, if we look at the numbers from the International Shark File Attack Worldwide, which is held at the Florida Museum of the University of Florida, the record number of the number of unprovoked great white attacks worldwide is 274, with 52 fatalities. That's not in 1 year. That's over the past 400 years. So these animals, while misunderstood and while they have been known to unprovokingly bite humans, the chance is very, very, very rare. And compared to the tens of millions of sharks that are actually killed in fisheries worldwide, our threat to them is a much greater threat than their threat to us. So with that, I want to wish you all a happy Friday. Thank you all for joining me today. Next week, I'll be back with my last week of cool marine animals I have seen. The theme for next week will be all things great and small. So thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for joining me today. Have a great weekend.